The Airmail Fiasco of 1934, when the U.S. Army took to the skies and fell from them. In early 1934, during the depths of the Great Depression, President Franklin D. Roosevelt made a bold and unexpected decision. He canceled all private airmail contracts and handed over U.S. mail delivery to the military. What followed was a tragic, chaotic, and almost unbelievable saga known as the Airmail Scandal, or as some pilots grimly called it, the Airmail Fiasco. The scandal that started it all. The trouble began with a corruption scandal. Major private airlines had been securing government mail contracts through shady backroom deals rather than fair competition. Roosevelt, determined to root out corruption, voided their contracts overnight. With mail piling up and no commercial airlines to carry it, he ordered the U.S. Army Air Corps, the precursor to the Air Force, to take over. There was just one problem. The Army pilots weren't trained for this. Flying blind into disaster. The year was 1934, and flying was still a dangerous business. While commercial pilots had spent years perfecting cross-country mail routes, Army pilots were trained for combat, not navigating long, grueling airmail flights through storms, mountains, and darkness. The planes they used were outdated, slow, and ill-equipped for bad weather. Many had no radios, no de-icing equipment, and poor visibility. Then February hit. In one of the worst winters on record, blizzards and freezing winds battered the country. Army pilots, many of whom had little experience flying in such conditions, were sent up anyway. The death toll rises. Within the first 2 weeks, 12 Army pilots died. By the end of the operation, at least 66 crashes had occurred. The public, once supportive of Roosevelt's reform, was horrified. Newspapers dubbed it the Airmail Massacre. The Army pilots themselves were furious, believing they had been sent on a suicide mission, with inadequate equipment and training. One pilot grimly remarked, "I'd rather fight another war than carry the mail in peace." The inevitable retreat. With public outrage mounting and more pilots dying, Roosevelt had no choice. By June 1934, the operation was shut down. Private airlines, albeit reformed under stricter regulations, were given back the responsibility of carrying the mail. It was an embarrassing chapter for the administration, but it ailed to major reforms. In aviation safety, military training, and how airmail contracts were awarded. The legacy of the Airmail Fiasco. Though disastrous, the operation pushed the U.S. military to modernize its aviation tactics, helping shape the Air Force of World War II. It also exposed the need for better weather forecasting, navigation tools, and aircraft design. But for the pilots who flew that deadly winter, it was a stark reminder that even in peacetime, the skies could be a battlefield.